I downloaded an app that generates videos of yourself in the future, and I didn't expect the horror I saw.
I'd been scrolling through Reddit and TikTok in bed for several hours when, still bored, I finally went to my phone's app store to find some funny apps to pass the time. I finally stumbled across this app. It was simply called Your Future. It had no rating, and the description consisted of one sentence: application in beta test that lets you see a video of yourself in the future. It was so stupid that I couldn't resist downloading it just to see how ridiculous it was going to be. Maybe I'll see myself at graduation day, and at least it'll give me some hope. The app was pretty light, and within a minute it was downloaded. The logo appeared on my phone, a simple white question mark in a black square. Okay, weird, I said aloud. Then I thought maybe they hadn't had time to make a decent logo yet. This was shaping up to be even funnier than expected. I launched the application. The screen went completely black. For a moment, I was afraid I'd downloaded a virus. Then I told myself that if it was on the App Store, then they must have checked that the app wasn't dangerous. A few seconds later, I breathed again as I saw the screen change. The black screen hadn't moved in the background, but a sentence had appeared on the screen. It simply said, "Press here if you wish to discover your future." I pressed it, and for a few hundredths of a second, I swore I saw my face appear on the screen. I sat up straight. I felt as if the camera had switched on and off at once, but it happened so fast that I couldn't be sure. Okay, I'm out. Better safe than sorry. I didn't wait any longer to put an end to this experience and uninstalled the app the next second. After all, even Apple could make mistakes and let dangerous apps through. And there had definitely been some weird stuff going on, so I wasn't going to take the risk. "Tony, dinner's ready," shouted my mom downstairs. "Coming," I replied, before walking out of my room, leaving my phone on my bed. I returned to my room after dinner and spent several hours playing on my computer. At around 11 p.m., I couldn't hold back the yawn any longer and finally turned off the PC before going to bed. Before turning off the light, I decided to browse a bit on TikTok and Reddit. But when I took my phone, I noticed a strange notification. Video upload completed. What the hell is this? And finally, I saw the logo on the notification, a white question mark on a black background. I was stumped. I was sure I'd uninstalled the application before going to dinner, so what the hell was the notification doing here? I checked my apps, and indeed, the logo had reappeared. I put my phone down on my mattress and held my head in my hands, trying to think. Either I'd caught a virus for real, or the app had bugged and hadn't uninstalled properly. It didn't seem all that unrealistic to me. After all, I'd uninstalled it while it was still running, and the description said it was a beta version. I decided to put my faith in the skills of Apple's employees and conclude that it had probably just been a bug. The notification was still in the top bar of my screen. I figured that if I already had a virus, I didn't know what more it could do. And in the best-case scenario, I'd actually see a ridiculous video and be able to relax and tell myself that yes, it was just a shitty app. I pressed the notification and the download folder on my phone came up. Apparently, the video had downloaded itself. The thumbnail was completely black, so I had no idea what I was about to see. I pressed the button and the video started. It was dark, and someone was using a flashlight attached to their head, as was the camera, to illuminate the area around them. I could only see the hands and feet of the person filming. A man, obviously, if the pronounced hairiness of his hands was anything to go by. The lamp he was using was pretty bad, and I could barely see where he was. Then he stopped in front of a frame on a piece of furniture, and I immediately realized where it was. It was a photo of me and my family, the same frame which stood in the kitchen on the ground floor. My breathing stopped, and my heartbeat raced. How could this be possible? Before I could think of an answer to this question, I saw the man heading for the stairs. up to the floor where my bedroom and my parents' bedroom were located. I stood up suddenly and listened through the crack of my door. I could still hear my parents commenting on the movie they were watching downstairs in the living room. I turned my attention back to my phone screen. The man continued up the stairs in total darkness and silence. I was in a trance, holding the phone in both hands, still standing. Once upstairs, I could see my bedroom door appear. But the man turned right towards my parents' bedroom. He switched off the flashlight, plunging the screen into complete darkness. And slowly, I heard the door to my parents' room open over the speakers. He took several steps inside, and I heard him lightly touch the end of the wooden bed with one of his boots. At that moment, he turned the flashlight back on, but the light was pointing down, so I couldn't see anything. Nothing, that is, except the large knife that had appeared in his hand. Slowly, he raised the flashlight, and I could see my parents lying peacefully asleep. The man stepped over my mother. Back in reality, I had put one of my hands in front of my mouth, and my eyes were wide with dread at what I was about to see. The man suddenly put his gloved hand over my mother's mouth and stabbed her in the throat with a sharp blow. I saw her eyes wide with surprise as she stared at the camera. Her body tensed suddenly, then relaxed as blood spurted everywhere. She finally closed her eyes, and the man removed his hand from her mouth. He then moved to the other side of the bed opposite my father. This time he put his hand over my father's mouth again, and at the same time, with a sharp blow, he stabbed him in the heart. My father's eyes widened in surprise too, before closing forever like my mother's just before. The man slowly backed away, still filming the bed as if he wanted to immortalize the moment. After a moment, he left the room. I was still standing in my room watching the video, biting my arm to keep myself from screaming. The only thing keeping me sane was the sound of the movie and my parents' voices laughing in the living room downstairs. It wasn't real. Nothing I saw could be. And yet, the more the seconds passed, the harder it became to deny what was in front of me. Back on the video, the man was turning towards the other end of the corridor, towards my room. No, 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 I couldn't help whispering. But he couldn't hear me, and he moved relentlessly towards my bedroom door. Again, he cut the flashlight and slowly pushed the door open. I heard him take a few steps, then touch the end of my bed with one of his boots, as he had done with my parents. He turned the flashlight back on. And here I was, asleep in my bed. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. He was going to do it. He was going to kill me. He approached me, knife in hand. "Stop," I whispered. He delicately placed his gloved hand over my mouth and put the tip of his blade to my throat. "Honey?" I screamed. Just in front of me, in the real world, was my mom. "What are you still doing awake at this hour and in front of your door? Go to bed," she said, before heading off to their bedroom herself without giving me time to answer anything. I stood there, my heart on the verge of stopping. I went and sat down on my bed, trying to catch my breath. It had to be a fake. It could only be a fake. I concentrated on my breathing by closing my eyes and finally managed to get my heart rate under control. I looked at my phone screen again. The video had ended and returned to the start. Fortunately, I hadn't seen my own murder, thanks to my mom's interruption, and I didn't intend to rewind the video to see it. I spent several minutes trying to rationalize, without much success. Then I had an idea. I went back to the download folder and accessed the detailed information on the video file. And there, right in front of my eyes, was what I'd been dreading most. Date 03/18/2024, 11 p.m. That's today's date, and it's currently 11 p.m. 20.